Yo, big shout out to everybody out there. Today I'm with none other than my dad, who just celebrated his 23rd birthday. And I love my dad to bits. You always hear me talking about my dad, and I love him to bits. I may get very busy with work, but I try by all means to, celebrate my dad. And, I always tell you guys that he helped me start my very first business selling freezers. He is the same person who, made sure that when I was growing up my soccer career, I loved to play sport. He used to make sure I get the best soccer boots at InSport, at the Zim Post. He took me to the best schools, and he remained humble, staying in a high-density suburb, but made sure that all of his children, all 4 of his children, went to private school. So I salute my dad. I love you very much. Happy birthday. 23rd of February, you celebrated your birthday. And Dad, you're a man full of wisdom. And today I just want you to share a couple of nuggets that you have, acquired over the years, being this wise man that you are today.
I've acquired so many of them. In that you obtain assistance where you didn't expect it, and you really appreciate it. And also you learn to offer assistance as you received assistance. And these lessons appear to focus a lot on people's lives.
Wow. Dad, out of the 4 children that you have, Rudo, Ignatius, Linda, and myself, I know that I'm your favorite. That's correct, right? I know that you've said that openly, and they're going to watch this and know. But what can you say was the most important role? Why did you choose to take your children to private schools rather than just take them to any ordinary school?
I think the lesson I learned is that I was taken to a private school myself. And I learned a lot and appreciated a lot in those private schools.
Right.
And I therefore concluded to myself that I should also take my children to the private schools, since I benefited a lot from them.
Wow. But I mean, what did a lot of people say? I remember you could have bought a house in the low-density suburb. I remember, how was it? Because it wasn't easy to pay for all 4 of your children in private schools. I remember you used to carry people in your 404, your Peugeot 404, to make ends meet. But what did people say? Because, I mean, you had a very good post at the city council. But what did people say, and what was your response to when people were saying, why don't you just send your son to a school down the road and upgrade your standard of living? Because I remember at that time we were living in a very small house. We used to sleep in the lounge. We didn't have the best of everything, but you sacrificed. What did people say?
People didn't think I was wise then to do that. And I had learned from many people who were close to me, friends, about the value of sending children to those schools. And it appeared that some people actually were saying, this is a waste of money. But I didn't see it that way, because I realized that when you inject money in a child's education, particularly if that education is verified, then some people don't appreciate it, but you do, and you see the benefit in the children's lives thereafter.
Wow, so it's a long-term investment.
Yes,
but I want to specifically ask, I've always asked this question, how did you find the private school that we all went to? I mean, I know obviously there was Rudo, Kina, then Linda. How did you find St. Michael's or Dominican convent when you used to stay the other side of town, because you were staying in Glenora. So how did you find those schools for you then to take us there?
I appreciated those schools and decided that I'll cross all roads and pass the city to take the children to those private schools. They appeared valuable when you looked at them thereafter, in that children did not confine themselves to the high density area environment, but they also verified their lives and grew to appreciate life in general, and many other people thereafter honored and appreciated my children because they had been brought about in various schools.
Wow, and that's an amazing fact, because to be very frank, I think one of the greatest things that I've benefited from such schools was that I was exposed. And even up until now, I know a certain standard of living that I would have never gotten had I remained in the high density suburbs. And this is all thanks to my father. And like you heard him say, a lot of people used to laugh at him when he used to take all four of us and commute, and he sacrificed a lot to take us where we all were. And if you look at all of us, we've all turned out very well. We've all been very exposed, and the lessons that our father put in our lives is what we are also putting into our children's lives, and we have become better people then. Dad, just to round off, what are the most important principles in life that you can want to advise somebody out there? You're an amazing father. You served in the city council from the lowest rank. You used to deliver Mapepa Mvula, is that correct? Right. Well, what was the first job you did back in the day?
I used to work in community centers.
All right. And you used to use a bicycle back then?
Yes. Yes. And during that time, I appreciated the nature of job that I was doing because it was associated to my training.
So you've always loved community service and social welfare?
Yes, and social work.
Which is what you excelled in. What are some things that you may want to advise either a parent or somebody generally in life pertaining how to go about life? You're a seasoned legend in life. You've lived. God has blessed you to being this amazing man. You've got 10 plus wazukuru you've seen. You've gone through the ups and downs of life. And what words of encouragement or insight would you like to leave people with?
I think the biggest one is that people should appreciate the fact that there are ups and downs in life. And some of the downs you go down with, they are usually meant. They are a blessing, those down, when you go down and you learn a lesson.
Wow.
And when you get up, you then say, I will avoid to go through this again. And I will also educate my children not to do it as I did. Life generally has ups and downs, and you learn when you go down to educate your children not to fall down as you did, and to also educate your children to inject a lot of value in their education and save a lot for their future children. So that the value they acquire in the high education that you offer, those are also transferred to their own children.
Wow. When you speak about education, Dad, I just want to ask, how did you feel when I failed my O-level results? Because I used to love soccer. How did you feel? I don't forget that day coming down the stairs at St. George's and I'd only passed 3 subjects. How did you feel when I failed?
I felt disappointed in a way, but then I also turned around and said, yes, people fall down, but they can always be given a chance to work out things and maybe even do much better than they did before.
Wow. And I remember I had gotten a full scholarship at Prince Edward, and you refused for me to go there with my results, and you said you need to supplement, and I supplemented. And it's amazing how that journey from me supplementing in town is where I got to learn my skills of hustling at Cimex more. Then I went to Prince Edward, where I found my love and my passion in sales and marketing. So I guess all things work together for good. Me failing my exams was all part of the plan for me to being this person that I am.
Yes.
What advice do you have to parents? Because I remember that when I started business, you helped me start business at an early age, and you were very supportive in me selling freezers in the high density suburb. And on the other side, when I wanted to start the journey of entrepreneurship, because you yourself were not an entrepreneur, you feared for my life, and you said, no, stay in employment because it's safer. So what advice would you want to give to parents out there? Because there are a lot of parents, and yet maybe that's not what the children are set out to be. So what advice would you give to parents out there pertaining their children? Because I really believe in this day and age, the parents focus a lot on education, but things have changed now. And I think your advice to parents.
Yes, generally, education does help. But to an extent that you leave the other educational aspect to future avenues of education. You don't need to focus in a strictly speaking pressurize children to do well in school and what have you. Let them learn half. They would try to do this and they succeed and they appreciate, and they try to do this and they fail, and they also appreciate the fact that life is not all that you can have a golden. The ups and downs in life, and you need to consistently try so that you end up achieving the desired objectives.
Wow. And that I learned that in an early age. I started doing business in grade 5, selling freezers, and even when I wanted to open my phone shop, my father was very supportive of me, and I think some of those mistakes have helped me to become the man that I am today. And you learn from the greatest mistakes, and I believe that's an important life lesson. Like my father highlighted that when you make mistakes, sometimes it's good to then tell them to your children so that they don't make mistakes. But I think more importantly, as parents, let your children make their own decisions and learn from their mistakes when they're young. It's better to make mistakes when they are young than when they are much older, so they at least learn from their own mistakes. Last and foremost, Dad, did you ever think that I was going to become a successful entrepreneur? I mean, if you looked at me, did you ever think that my son would be, a successful entrepreneur, winning awards? I remember taking you to a couple of awards, and you always used to ask me, awards is cheap. I remember a time, I was winning awards every now and then, and my father was like, you keep winning. What is it about? Did you ever think that I would, become a successful entrepreneur?
Initially, I didn't think you'll make it. But I think a lot depended on the way you were tackling your things. That it turned out eventually to impress me. And then I concluded this boy might make it in life. And you have made it.
Wow. And are you proud of me?
Oh, yes. I'm proud of you in the sense that I see you succeeding, and in the successes that you attain, you help your family, and you help those who are close to you. There is nothing as appreciated as also extending assistance to your own friends and relatives.
Wow. No, Dad, thank you so much. I just want to thank God for your life. You have been an amazing father. I've learned from you so much. I do what's called the school run diaries. And I learned that from you. I never forget the days you used to take me to school. And you were such the coolest dad. All my friends who sometime would come in and see you, they'll be like, is that your dad or your driver? How are you so close to your dad that you can talk to him like that? Because other children could not speak to their fathers because they were scared of them. And I learned so much about parenting from you. Never to beat your children. Taught me the 3 golden words, which are please, thank you, and sorry. Yeah, my father taught me those words, and you can explain why are those 3 key words very important?
Those 3 are very important because they are the single influences of life activities. And because of that, when you fail, you need to encourage your own offspring not to fail as you did, and to maintain consistency in appreciating what you do and in building up where you fail.
So please, thank you, and sorry are key words.
Yes. Please, thank you, and I'm sorry. Those are the key words in life, and once they become common practices in your life, people do appreciate you as an individual.
Wow. Dad, thank you so much for your time. I just want to celebrate you. I thank you so much for everything that you've done, not only for me, but for all my siblings, and for sharing this time and amazing wisdom. I love you so much. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May you see all your grandchildren wed, all of them. That's going to make you a very a very old man.
Yeah.
But I just appreciate you, Dad, and I love you. I think I have the best dad in the world because I can talk about anything with my dad. And I say anything. Every time I talk to my dad, I always learn something new. And, to all dads out there, it's so great to have a good relationship with your dad. And to celebrate your parents while they're still alive. It's important. Make memories. Take pictures. Take videos. Because videos will always last forever. And these will be things you look back at and look back at life and be like, And I really love this man. And I thank you, Dad.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for
George. I appreciate your appreciation of what I did to you and others.
Yeah.
I hope you would extend what I did to you, extend it to your own children as well. Because if you don't, you become selfish.
That's my dad for you. Those are his sentiments. He said, if I took you to a private school, you need to do the same for your children, because that's the promise he made to his father when his father took him to school. And that's what all of us as a family have done. We've extended that culture to all of our children to make sure we invest in our kids' education. And most importantly, we encourage our children. Not all children are the same. My father has told me that, you know what, be the best at whatever God created you to be. And don't be swayed left or right and doing what people want you to do, but do what you want to do in life. Thank you so much, Dad. I appreciate you. Happy birthday again. 2020, February 23, my dad celebrated his birthday, and we're doing this video on the 27th of February. I love you, Dad. God bless you.
Thank you. Love you too.